morning. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Inside Nigeria breakfast show on Leadership Television. Today is Tuesday, October 31, 2023, and incidentally is the last day of the month of October. And we have an array of newspapers on the table for our review this morning. And of course, as usual on the program, we like to flag off with Nigeria's most influential newspaper, Leadership. Leadership released with a developing story that has been trending since yesterday or even over the weekend. And it says, confusion as Rivers lawmakers plot separate impeachments. Confusion as Rivers lawmakers plot separate impeachments. And the writers say 8 pro-Pubara legislators remove Speaker, Deputy Chief Judge. 12 others sign impeachment notice against governor. PDP governors hold emergency meeting today. Clerk seeks Tinubu's intervention. I'll take that leading story once again. Confusion as Rivers lawmakers plot separate impeachments. 8 pro-Pubara legislators remove Speaker, Deputy Chief Judge. 24 others sign impeachment notice against governor. PDP governors hold emergency meeting today. Clerk seeks Tinubu's intervention. These are the leading stories on Leadership today, Tuesday, October 2023. And above that, we have election verdict. Atiku hits Supreme Court. Presidency fires back. The presidential candidate of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, had a press conference yesterday where he lambasted or lappooned the Supreme Court over his judgment. And leaders Atiku hits Supreme Court. State assemblies. FEC approves 2. State assemblies. FEC approves 2.1 trillion naira supplementary budget. Palliatives, federal government labor meeting shifted. Host today. Third quarter, UBA records 115% growth in gross earnings. Profit hits 502.1 billion naira. Of course, the story continues on page 26 of the paper. And with that, we move to the page 3 of the paper where we have our stand. Our stand, like I always say, is the editorial slant of the paper. And today's our stand is off Secopol. It is not war. Off Secopol. It is not war. The story continues on our website. And with that, we move to the back page of Leadership, where we have Tuesday column with Ray Murphy. Ray Murphy today, Tuesday, October 31st, 2023, is writing on Justice Datigo rattles the judiciary. Justice Datigo rattles the judiciary. Find out more. Continuation of headline stories, inside stories, as you log on to the website of Leadership, www.leadership.ng. From Leadership, the next paper on our menu is THISDAY. THISDAY incidentally has similar cover story with that of Leadership. It says tension in Rivers as massive protest cripples activities over plan to impeach Fubara. Tension in Rivers as massive protest cripples activities over plan to impeach Fubara. And the riders are Eye Emeji's new speaker, use drum support for Fubara. PDP elders Ada George Abbey call for caution. Clark Ijo National Congress warned Wike security agencies. Asked Tinubu to call FCT minister to order. House of Assembly adjoins signed deal. The story continues on page 10 of THISDAY. Tension in Rivers as massive protest cripples activities over plan to impeach Fubara. And above that, we have Atiku, I'm not quitting, talking about his media press briefing yesterday in Abuja. He says, I'm not quitting. I will remain in politics as long as I breathe. Says Supreme Court judgment has eroded trust in electoral system, Nigeria's democracy. Recommences year rotational presidency, insists electronic voting, collation of results mandatory. Tinubu declares former VP self-anarchist for delegitimizing institutions. I'll take that again. Tinubu declares former VP self-anarchist for delegitimizing institutions. The story continues on page 10 of this day. And above this, that we have a strip. Tinubu, I have implicit confidence in my chief of staff, Gbajabia Miller. About the masthead of this day, Adelabu, federal government to review $2 billion CMS deal, targets 1,300 rise in transmission capacity. Minister says everybody to blame for power sector failure. Touring academic constitutional lawyer Ben Wambweze dies at 94. And before we leave this day, there's a strip underneath where we have a business story. Afrexim Bank's reign, Awambeg named in Power List Black Excellence Award. For more on these headline stories, inside stories, the editorial and back page, log on to the website of This Day, www.thisdaylive.com. From This Day, Vanguard is next. Vanguard leads with chaos erupts in rivers. Chaos erupts in rivers. Hoodlums bomb state assembly. 24 legislators sign impeachment notice against Governor Fubara. 26 lawmakers suspend speaker. 3 others install Edison. Go to court. New speaker tests aggrieved lawmakers. Adjoins house scene then. Security operatives shot directly at me, Fubara. Challenges 24 legislators to list his offense. Condemns burning of assembly. Police command launches investigation. PDP governor summoned emergency meeting today. Of course, we have pictures of the mayhem in Rivers. We have the burn sessions of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Rivers State Governor Fubara on his way to Rivers State House of Assembly over the attempt to impeach him. We have Governor Fubara left seeking access to the assembly from the police officers on arrival, and that is the insert. Remains of discharged ammunition at Rivers State House of Assembly. These are captured on the pictorial on the cover of Vanguard. And underneath that, we have Supreme Court verdict. Struggle continues as long as I breathe. Article. Nigeria greater than your selfish ambition. Presidency APC tells SVP. Protests rock jaws over alleged conflicting tribunal judgments. And of course, in sports, Messi wins 8 Ballon d'Or. Congratulations to Messi on this feat. From sports, we move to the one stories above the masthead of Vanguard. Third quarter 2023, UBA records 115% growth in earnings. FEC approves 2.17 trillion naira 2023 supplementary budget. Electricity sector privatization has failed, federal government admits. Autonomy, Oyo, Edo, Kano, Ogun, Ondo assembly workers begin indefinite strike. Tributes as elder statesman Wambweze dies at 94. These are the headline stories on Vanguard today, Tuesday, October 31, 2023. For more on these inside stories, log on to the website of Vanguard. Daily Sun is next on our menu. Daily Sun leads with articles, media briefing yesterday. Affirmation of Tinubu's election, SVP article blows hot on Supreme Court's verdict. Accuses Apex Court of legitimizing illegality, forgery, identity theft, perjury. Vows to continue struggle to deepen, save democracy. Time for you to quit presidency. And on the box, on the left-hand side of the paper, we have Supreme Court. We are not deterred by verdict, says PDP chairman. Financial autonomy, person shorts assembly complexes nationwide. Federal government threatens to revoke Disco's, Genco's licenses. Protest rocks jaws over conflicting judgments. Governor calls for calm. Tinubu Ohaneze sans orders mourn as legal icon. Ben Wambweze dies at 94. Anxiety as Kano Kojon babies head for Saudi Arabia for surgical separation. And of course, the second lead story on Daily Sun today is on Rivers crisis. It says Rivers boys as governor faces impeachment. Rivers boys as governor faces impeachment. State Assembly begins process to remove Governor Fubara from office. Majority leader sacked, emerges factional speaker. Suspected thugs set Assembly complex on fire. Nobody remove me, I'm ready to die, Fubara. And of course, on the strip, we have fierce fighting in Gaza as Israeli forces, tanks attack main city, militants fight back. The story continues on page 26 of Daily Sun. And just before we leave Daily Sun, the story beside the masthead says FEC approves 2.7 trillion naira supplementary budget for 2023. These are the headline stories on Daily Sun. For more on these inside stories, editorial and back page as well, log on to the website of Daily Sun. And from Daily Sun, Blueprint newspaper is next. Blueprint says aftermath of Supreme Court's judgment, Atiku vows to fight on, says democracy on life support. I'll continue to struggle to deepen democracy. It's time to take a bow, presidency. Atiku Obi's defense flimsy argued on social media. Professor Yadudu, APC. We have RMRDC using manpower to produce adhesives saved Nigeria over $13,291,000 from importation. FEC OK's 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget for 2023. Tinubu passes vote of confidence on Gbajabiamila, the chief of staff. And underneath that, impeachment, Fubara Rivers Assembly feud deepens. Call Wike to order now, Edwin Clark tells Tinubu. PDP governors meet over crisis today. And with that, we move just to the one stories beneath the masthead. NEDC, that is Northeast Development Commission, donates 2 billion naira to Maiduguri Monday market fire victims. Federal government seeks resumption of direct flights to USA. Naira to reach fair value of 750 naira per dollar by year end 2023, says federal government. Power sector privatization, Genco Discos licenses renewal not automatic, federal government says. These are the leading stories on Blueprint. For more on this, log on to the website of Blueprint newspaper. And with that, we move to The Punch. The Punch is next on our menu today. And the Punch says, retire now, presidency tells Atiku. Still on Atiku's media briefing yesterday in Abuja. SVP rubbishes Supreme Court's judgment. On the rider, we have Apex Court legitimizes illegality. Atiku insists. Urges INEC to verify credentials. Atiku's presidential ambition doomed. SVP desperate, say APC presidency. And just like Vanguard newspaper, we have pictures of Fubara, Governor Fubara, yesterday, and Dagogo. That is what we have as on the cover of the Punch newspaper. And the story for it says Rivers Assembly in crisis as Wike's loyalists move to impeach Fubara. The story continues on page 2 of the Punch. Underneath that, we have IOM rescues 113 Nigerians stranded in Niger Republic. Taraba governor mourns 100 boat accident victims. Others probe. Military bombs Borno terrorist enclave, destroys gun trucks. And we move up just above the masthead. Tinubu canvasses 2 trillion naira discos recapitalization tariff review. Federal government approves 2.2 trillion naira supplementary budget. 70 corpses, skeletons uncovered near Abia cattle market. Governor Oti. For more stories on the Punch, the editorial, inside pages, log on to the website of the Punch newspaper, www.punchng.com. And from Punch newspaper, we move to the last paper on our menu for review this Tuesday, the last day of October. And the Guardian comes out with exclusive as usual. It says licenses of 17 discos, Gencos due for renewal, revocation in November 1. And November 1, incidentally, is tomorrow. Licenses of 17 discos, Genco's due for renewal revocation November 1. The story continues on page 6 of the paper. Crisis in Rivers as Assembly splits, gets two speakers, moves to impeach Fubara. UBA records 115% growth. Profit before tax rises by 263% to 502.1 billion naira. Price of rice increases by 60.59% in 1 year as transport fares rise by 117.29%. FEC proposes 2.2 trillion naira supplementary budget for road repairs, palliatives. I'm not going away, says Atiku, as Tinubu's aide knocks gloomy submission on democracy. Moral burden of using tainted celebrities as brand ambassadors, influencers is a news analysis, and it continues on page 4 of the paper. Moral burden of using tainted celebrities as brand ambassadors, influencers. And the last story on the cover today says Abia uncovers 50 decomposing 20 headless bodies in cattle market. And with that, we've come to the end of today's newspaper review on Inside Nigeria, reaching you on Leadership Television. For more stories on these papers, you can log on to the website to read more. My name is Winifred Ugbebo. Until I come your way again, same time, same station, is wishing you a beautiful day. Stay blessed.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 08036886658. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the word.